All right.
Meeting.
Join me for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any minutes, Helen?
Yes.
August 6th, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes of August 6th for the commission meeting.
I would make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
I second that, Mr.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Any more minutes, Helen? That's it, okay. Do you have any reports to bring forth?
I don't think we have any reports, Mr. Chairman. No,
No reports, okay. Correspondence?
I have none.
I have none. I have none.
All right, thank you, everybody. You have none as well. All right, we'll jump down to calendar review. What do we got coming up, Helen? Looks like a pretty quiet week.
Plant the water and sewer tonight,
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
and probably not solid. waste. Survey review at 1:30 on Thursday. Commissioner Kirsch is Friday. This is CSAA call at 8:30. And Monday. Holiday, right?
Holiday, yep, Labor Day, all day.
Yay.
All right, Commissioner Mullen, do you have anything to add to that calendar?
Yeah, Friday's a little crazier. I'm probably going to miss the CSAA call. I have a Many Rivers whole health board meeting in Great Falls on Friday.
On
So
Friday, okay, that's different.
we usually meet on Mondays, but
Being the holiday,
holiday coming up. So
bumped you,
yeah,
bumped you back a little bit.
they tried to
Okay.
pack us in anyway. So,
Okay,
but that's the only meeting I have that's different.
great. All right, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hager, do you have anything to add?
No other changes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The only thing I have to add is a solid waste safety meeting tomorrow morning, 7:30 at the county shop. If anybody's interested in coming to the safety meeting, that'll be happening then. Okay, commission reports. Commissioner Mullen, do you want to start us out on the last couple of weeks, what you've been up to?
The last couple of weeks. Mr. Chair, I've been able to make the, my usual, CSAA meeting on Fridays. Other than that, I've been kind of, tied up the last couple of weeks, so I have not been able to attend too many of my meetings. I've been tied up with my daughter, so. That's really up. I don't have much to report on this week.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hagerty?
All of August, the 7th, which was Wednesday, the BBRD working group, Alfred Watson was introduced as the new force supervisor for this region where he will be working out of Dillon, Montana. The 8th, Thursday, the CTAC meeting, JLDC stated that there may be an interested party in purchasing the Kaiser Guards in Jefferson City. Who? Same date, JLDC mentioned, but they did not say who that party was. So. And then,
They fell through.
oh, okay, thank you. That's
Oh,
how far back we're going.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
August 8th, Survey Review Committee, there wasn't any meeting. On that same date, on the 8th, the Weed Board Council members were led on a field trip from Montana State University to the Cedar Hills area in Whitehall. There was discussion about a particular weed killer that had been introduced 3 years ago and utilized on private property with the owner's consent. After arriving in the field, the members could see the effects from the first year to the third year. This was used on leafy spurge. Discussion followed of the pros and cons of this weed killer. Then Thursday, the 15th, Survey Review Committee, there were 4 plats of property reviewed, and after review were forwarded on for approval. Same date, that Thursday, the library board meeting. The meeting was held in Whitehall. The board hired Patricia Lewis as the new secretary, and discussion followed as for her job duties. Then Monday, Whitehall Town Hall meeting, nothing to report on that. And then Tuesday, the UI Task Force, I was unable to attend. And then the survey review committee on the 22nd, committee didn't meet. And as for last night, Parks Trails Recreation Commission, I wasn't able to attend. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So, was that biocontrol up at the Leafy Spurge? Biocontrol, is that correct?
Yeah, it's with the weed control. It's a new one they've tried, a new weed killer, and they're seeing how well it works.
What was their consensus?
It doesn't work. This one doesn't work. for
It's
those
not
two.
working very good.
No,
This
not
isn't
this
the,
one.
this isn't the bio, I don't.
I think it is.
It's, I don't remember the
Or
name.
is
of
it a
it.
chemical?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a chemical.
Oh,
It's a chemical, excuse
Okay,
me,
I
yes,
thought
it's
it
a
was-
chemical. No, it's a chemical. But this chemical doesn't seem to work as well as others,
Okay,
so,
interesting.
yeah,
All
thanks for
right.
the clarity.
Very good. All right, I'll go back to the 7th as well. Actually, the 8th Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group, they're just trying to get funding. They're pretty much out of funding to do any projects. They can still do their, what do they call that? Their site plans and, where they look at your house and see what needs to be done for fire mitigation. There's no term for that, but it eludes me right now. Let's see, anything else worth mentioning there?
Home inspection or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call that. They were talking about a tool that MSU has, it must be on their website somewhere, where you can look at a map of a certain area and it shows from like 1940, aerial photograph of the wooded area compared to now. And almost a lot of Montana didn't have as much timber as it does now. We're just overgrown with timber compared to the 40s and, because we've controlled fire for so many years, it's just the wooded areas are just overgrown. So in the past, before we started mitigating fires, they'd burn big areas all the time.
We cut timber in there some years too.
Yeah, we did cut timber, yeah, somewhere in between there as well, that's true. Let's see, we got a road and bridge, they're kind of doing the same thing. Anything worth? State Creek, oh, there might be a timber sale up State Creek, Bigfoot area, they got a fire up in that area right now, but hopefully they'll still be able to do some kind of a timber sale up there. Let's see, what else is happening? Sawmill Gulch, we're fighting a beaver dam up there. We've had to pull it out twice now this year, I think already. We've got a busy beaver. Hopefully, we may have to trap him and relocate him. We'll see how that goes. Culvert cleaning.
Take my 22 up there.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd rather relocate him if possible, but we may have to take care of him. Dust pods in Jeff City, that seems to be a hot topic these last few days. They're working diligently on getting it to where it's supposed to be. It's definitely not performing the way we expected yet, but it's a little bit preliminary. We got some work to do up there to get it hopefully dialed into where it is performing how we want it to perform. Hopefully that'll get there. Our Durapatch machine, it's a little machine, they spray gravel and oil all at the same time to fill in potholes and stuff. The pivot swing on that broke, so we're waiting for parts on that. And then we'll be working on potholes. I think they did a bunch of them this spring, but I think they go back over them and kind of chip seal them with that Durapatch machine. And let's see. I think that's about it. Talking about a speed study up north between Pica Road and the Turner, or the roundabout in Montana City, that section of 282. I'm probably gonna request a speed study for that area because it's 55, like almost all the way right up to the roundabout, and it's pretty dangerous, lots of turn-ons in that area there for people. One guy said every time he pulls out there, it's like taking his life into his own hands. If somebody's coming,
Using the roundabout is pretty good.
it's almost a crash, so we're gonna request a speed study. Those usually take about a year and a half to.
That's a race, Terry. You'll be the first one in there.
No, I need to stand there and wait like 5 cars because they're going so fast.
And so that's going on. Let's see, Jefferson County Tax Increment Financing, the TIFID board met on August 21st. And not a whole lot happening. The Southern TIFID district, we're actually getting some, what do they call that?
Boreholes?
Boreholes, okay, thank you, Ginger. Doing some boreholes for the road. We're gonna check out the substrate of the road surfaces before we put asphalt on them. Make sure it's gonna last and
It
not
must be
just
south then.
south of it, yeah. Yep, so we got a couple, did we get just two what do you call them? Can't remember. My brain's not working, yeah, bids, estimates.
Estimates.
Yep, and they were very close to one another. 5 boreholes, 5 feet deep. And how much were they? 8,500 for this one, and I think the other one was a little bit more, 99.50, so they were very close in. So they bore the hole, they take the dirt out, they check it out and see if it's good enough for a substrate for the asphalt, so just kind of getting ahead of the problem with the road, we don't want to slap asphalt on it if it's gonna.
And you
sink
have
or fail.
results back, compaction was good.
We haven't got them back, it was just the bids, I think, Ladena was gonna do some more investigating before we move forward on it. I think the Tibbet board said it was good to move forward, so.
Just waiting to see availability of Kingston.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Or-
See how available they are. We want to try to get it done this fall so we can hopefully start asphalting in the spring here. We're down to Whitehall, down to the Legacy Center for our GLDC meeting on the 21st as well, and the big news there, we got notification that the Western Legacy Center wants to move out of the Whitetail Center. And GLDC's kind of working that over, I guess, and seeing what we can do to get them out of their lease. I think their lease is for the rest of the year, so they've got a better, not really a better building, but a better area there across from the town pump and the old town pump building, so it would give them a lot more traffic than where they're at now. So lots of conversation about what might fill the gap there at the Whitetail Center for getting more leases in there so we can keep the building making money and not losing money. There was a lot of interest in the old town pump building, so they were asking what that was, so maybe that would drift over to the Whitetail Center. They said the US Forest Service may be interested in coming back over to Whitehall, which would be cool. That's where they started anyway. Car Wash was looking at that building as at the Old Town Pump building. They were gonna just completely demolish the Old Town Pump building and put a car wash in there, but they didn't do that. And then also a restaurant was looking at that. So there's some ideas. I don't personally think there's gonna be any problem getting a new tenant in there, so. Sounds like we're gonna try to shoot for the annual membership dinner up in the Montana City Grill for the JLDC membership dinner. I think that's gonna be around September 25th. Yeah, so that was about it for the JLDC meeting, road meeting. Just mostly talked about the Corbin Road and the dust pods and what they're doing up there. Beaver Dam again, yeah, so. Couple weeks worth. All right. We're down to opportunity for public comment. So if there's anybody here wanting to bring forth anything to the commission that's not on the agenda lower down, this is the time to do it. Can't make any decisions on it, but we can sure take your comments and.
Barry's here for information.
Barry's here for public comment. Barry, do you want to go ahead and?
Sure, I just mainly questions and maybe some clarification and additional information on the Corbin Wicks Road and what that is. A bunch of I just got back from a week and I already had.
That's not what he said to me. What the hell have you guys
Calling
done?
me.
That's what he said to me when he walked.
Like, I know the answer and I go, well, I know where to go, and so, but just trying to figure out, do you have someplace online where like the process, the plan is listed? Like what this could go, the steps involved, how many days?
I don't think so. I mean, you could look at the Dust Pods website and get some information there, what the product's supposed to do. And when we hired the grinding machine, you probably saw it if you live up there, it grinds it up and lays it down and applies the dust pods, and they go back and grate it and roll it, and it's supposed to come out fairly strong and what we thought it was gonna be, but they were struggling with the machine, getting it too wet, too dry, too wet, so they got kind of a mixture of different surfaces there, so. We're working through fixing the difference there, and the dry spots, we're letting them dry out, rolling and compacting it. Dry spots, adding more product, so we're trying to get it to where it's supposed to be, but I look at the Dust Pods website and that should give you a pretty good.
This is the first project of your size that we've tried. You know, this is the biggest one we've done, so we're learning a lot of things, I believe, as we go, as Corey said. Getting the right mixture in the soil and getting the right compaction when we roll it and that sort of thing. We're still struggling with a little bit of that, so.
Well, I promise I'll keep informing you my opinion on the condition of the road, so you know.
Yeah.
It went, you know, it's very chattery right now. I mean, it's basically washboard and there's ridges in there and it's. Even though with the potholes in it went from a condition of maybe 6 to it's about 2 right now. I mean, it's very.
Yeah, with the ridges, it got too wet in there. So,
Right,
yeah.
and it'll take some time. You got something like that.
Get that
I'm sure there's
moisture
A lot
out
of
of there,
rolling, and a
yeah.
lot of watering and some regrading, but
Yep.
as long as they're not packing up. And
No.
they're never coming back, I think
No.
everybody will be okay.
No, no,
We-
we're keenly interested in trying to do a good job with that.
Well,
new-
so
new
thank you
product,
for this
so.
conversation, because not 15 minutes before I walked over here, somebody called and complained
Mhm.
to me about that road up there. The first section looks really good, second section's iffy, the third section is bad.
Mhm.
And they were complaining with I sent Vera email because I didn't know what condition, so here you're talking about it, I will call that person back and say, we're not done.
Right.
That's
No.
the answer, right?
Well, if
We're
you
not
wanted to
done.
come on Tuesdays and Saturdays to the transfer station, I'm sure, I was there for this morning and talked to at least 3 guys and the whole topic is, what's it? I go,
Wow, that's good to, yeah, so this person represents, yeah, he's part of the fire department and he called, so somebody must have complained or made several calls to him.
So we had a tough choice with Corbin Road. I mean, it was deteriorating down to where we'd have to tear it up anyway, so. In the condition of the county budgets right now, we would never be able to do definitely not an asphalt. Chip seal would have been iffy. This product's supposed to be just as good, if not better than chip seal. Not as good as asphalt, obviously, but not the cost of it, so we decided to go down that road is to just grind it up, put this stuff on it and see what it does. And if it doesn't work, if it falls apart, whatever, we'll have to look at plan B. You know, we wanted a good heavy traffic road, and that one just gets beat up with, I mean, all the building up there, cement trucks and all that. I mean, the old chip seal road was like this, and that's why all the potholes down the driving path of it, it was just ready to be redone. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that the state will hopefully mill and fill the interstate between the top of Boulder Hill and Jeff City at some point, because they usually give us a good portion of those millings, and then we can pretty much hard surface it, so we're hoping that'll happen in the next few years, and if that does, then we'll be in good shape, so.
Okay.
well, that was originally done, I mean, it was done up until the mine entrance, wasn't it? I mean, it was chip sealed just for dust control and mitigation originally, right?
I would assume so, because it's just
That's
chip,
what-
chip seal, yeah, there was
Right.
really no base to it. you know.
Tried to help the mine out, I think. you
Yeah,
know.
probably mostly dust control. When you chip seal over dirt, I mean, there's really no base to it, so
Right.
it really wasn't built for structural integrity that it's been getting hammered on for the last 10 years with all the building up there, so.
And with, this thing goes down 4 or 5 inches, so we're hoping it's give us a little better base, get some of those
Right.
soft spots out of the top anyway, but.
Well, if you live out in the county, I mean, I find it hard for anybody to complain about dust, let's be honest. I mean,
I do
I don't really care about my concern is more smooth and level and easy to plow, you know, I'm a little
Yeah.
worried about how it's gonna plow off this winter.
Yeah.
You know, at least the chip seal, you could drop a blade and it would
Yeah.
clean pretty good, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah.
And
This-
that road
It
is,
shouldn't be much different, I don't think. Hopefully.
yeah, we have high hopes for it, you know, like I say, we'll have to go to plan B, but your road was perfect for that, because we had to do something with it anyway. So let's try it, you got high traffic, you know, all the worst stuff that a road brings forth is that one, so.
The road was never built for the kind of traffic it gets out there.
Well, and
Probably
you know,
not the mine even, but.
I drive an F-150 and my wife drives a Ranger, so it's not, but I see Teslas, Mercedes, you know, you have people with more delicate cars than I do who
But it's
may be
the,
giving you a call. on the road, that road
it's the
is-
construction traffic and the garbage trucks and those things that just
Well,
ruin that road. you know,
there's a cement truck probably every day
Yeah,
from April
absolutely.
till August, and the pumper trucks, and you've seen
Yeah.
there.
Edges of that road were never built for that kind of traffic.
No, so, well, good luck, we'll.
Yeah, we're doing the best
Let's
we
all
can
hope
with
it
it.
works.
Cause the alternate was just to tear all the chip seal off it and get it back to gravel, which, you know, is worse than it is now. I hope that's what the case is, so we don't want a gravel road, cause they're more maintenance than anything, so.
Well, when the mine reopens, we'll cause them to pave everything from Main Street, right? So-
They may do that, you know, if they do open back up, they usually want a good road, so that's always a possibility.
you know, the one thing too, while I have the floor, is the intersection of Main and I don't know what that little section is before you go to Corbin, it's the
Spring.
Spring
Street, maybe.
Street,
Mhm.
there has been a divot and a hole there that either the county or the state, it's like, well, I'm not gonna touch that because it's that one. It's about 2 feet deep and people catch it all the time. Is there any possibilities? I actually brought my tractor down and tried to pull some of that, but it was so packed in, I couldn't even move it. But if anybody has just a bucket load of gravel to dump in that corner,
there's a nasty one in the Corbin corner too, but.
yeah,
Keeps them cutting the corner there a little bit.
yeah, that's. But the problem is the trucks still come around it and then they catch that asphalt and they break it off and it
Yeah.
just keeps
Keeps
crawling.
creeping out, yeah.
So it's like, it's
absolutely.
making it, leaving it there is making it bigger instead of preventing.
Yeah, we'll let Bear know. They grab asphalt once in a while and run around the county filling potholes. If they got a little extra to throw in there, we'll let him know to do so.
Well, I said, when they were repaving Main Street, you know, and they did all that, I actually stopped and said, hey, if you guys got 5 buckets, go throw some in that.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
It's in no man's land, that corner, so,
Yeah, that's all state
Yeah,
highway. I'm
between-
not sure what they're.
Between the
saying.
county and the state somewhere. there.
yeah, somewhere
Who's
there, they can't figure
responsible?
out who's there, where,
Without
We
doing a
don't-
survey or something.
We do a lot of this then, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Barry. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
appreciate
If you can
it.
pass on any good information to your fellow customers out there, I've got emails I'm answering and phone calls and trying. Most everybody I've talked to has been perfectly understanding. It's just, yeah. They're not understanding.
It'll be great as long as it works.
Yeah, I hope so. We got our fingers crossed. It's worked in other counties, so. All right, any other public comment
As
today?
long we're talking about roads, I wonder if you could guarantee a level of condition of 2 on Forest Park Drive. I'd be interested in having the same treatment there to use it as a traffic control mechanism. You know, it gets graded frequently enough that people know how to drive 50 miles an hour on the thing, so.
Which road?
Hmm?
Which road?
Forest Park Drive, gravel.
Above your place.
Above my
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
The road's too good a condition then, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got speeders over in Blue Sky Heights too, so.
Same way. Well,
Same
you
thing,
know, I know,
same
I know. It just, I'm just squawking.
Yeah. Everybody lives on any county road in any area where there's people, we get the same. Everybody's speeding, everybody's going 100 miles an hour. All right, any other public comment? Yeah, those are the 2 publics, I guess. Yep, you bet.
Minutes yet. Do the resolution, I suppose. huh?
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes, so we can jump down to resolution 2024, setting salaries of elected officials.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir.
That's important.
All right, resolution 2024. Salaries of elected or county officials, the county governing body shall by resolution on or before August 1st of each year adjust and uniformly fix the salaries of the clerk, county clerk and recorder, county treasurer, county superintendent of schools, county sheriff, and clerk of district court based upon the recommendations of the county compensation board provided for in subsection code right there. Whereas the compensation board has recommended the following. Clerk and recorder be compensated for electing duties in the amount of $2,000. Clerk and recorder be compensated additional $49.94.06 for assessor duties. The clerk and recorder be compensated an additional $2,000 for county survey duties. Sheriff be compensated an additional $68.54.16 for coroner duties. The treasurer and clerk of district court be compensated an additional $2,000. The elected officials receive a 3% on base salary of fiscal. I think that's supposed to be 24-25. No, base salary of 23-24 for the 24-25 fiscal year. That's right. Therefore, let it be resolved that base salaries for the elected officials of Jefferson County for the fiscal year 24-25 be established as follows. If anybody wants to look at this, it's essentially the same as last year, except for a 3% COLA increase. Be it further resolved that the county commission and the sheriff shall receive an additional $2,000 and the superintendent of schools shall receive an additional $1,250 as provided by law. The State Department of Justice pays a portion of the county attorney salary. All right, that's it. Is any questions on that one?
No.
Questions? Comments? No? All right.
I move we approve resolution 2024, setting salaries for elected officials.
All right, do we have a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, unanimous. Thank you. We have time to do resolution 2120.
For the
24?
JP, sure. The same thing,
Pretty much the same thing.
3% COLA.
You have to separate it out. This one's just showing longevity, it looks like. And the $2,000 a year. Is the COLA on that one, Helen, or?
Yeah.
Should be the same base pay of all the other elected officials, plus longevity, plus the two.
Okay, so this is just the longevity in the 2,000. I'm not sure why it's gotta be separated out. So I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution 2024.
Move to accept, resolution 21-2024, the setting salary of the justice of the peace.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, unanimous. Thank you, thank you.
2 o'clock is here.
And we're right on the money for our time-specific items. So 2 o'clock public hearing, permissive levy for health insurance. So I'll open the public hearing for the permissive levy for health insurance. Do we have any documentation on that, Helen, or is that just a?
We don't.
I don't think we really do.
I have.
You have some documentation on, you want to explain it to us?
I can explain the amount.
Okay.
This has been in service since long before I started.
Mhm.
But what we do is we take what our employees, or their portion of the health levy, and we are allowed to levy it. So we can, we get that money back as an income for us as a revenue. So this year, our permissive levy is 23.46 for a total of $1,036,799.87.
Okay.
Last year it was 2602 and for $1,139,990.78.
So fewer mills this year?
Yes, our auditor had us readjust how we did it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a decrease of $103,000 between last year and this
A decrease.
Years ago, they froze the mills for counties, back in the 90s. And this legislation came on after that and allowed us to go outside the mills that they had frozen for the counties in order to do, benefits for county employees, so that's
Our
why it's a
base year-
separate
year. Our base year
levy.
for this is 2,000. So
That's
when
why
this-
it's a separate levy now. Same is true with the next one, sheriff retirement, but
Okay. Yeah, we really don't have to make a decision on this. I guess it's not in a state law that happens. So I guess if there's no other comment, we'll close the public hearing. Anybody else got anything? Okay, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing for the permissive levy for health insurance and
open the one for sheriff's retirement, huh?
might as well, yeah, or a little early, but we'll open the public
Oh.
hearing for permissive levy for sheriff's retirement system. We a lot of the times call it SRS. Do you have information on that one, Kim?
Yes, this year we're gonna levy $31,528.70, which is a mill levy of 0.713. Last year, we levied $44,623.77, which was a 1.02 mil. And the reason for the decrease is they've changed the percentage we can the percentage of the sheriff's wages we can levy.
Okay,
That's because the county pays less than it did last year too.
county pays less.
So
Okay,
we
great.
Like from 13, something, 13% something to 12.
Okay, a slight decrease then. Okay. Very good. Any questions, comments on the sheriff's retirement system levy?
The sheriff's retirement system is separate from the retirement system for the rest of the employees because they have a different retirement term and they pay a different rate of retirement. So they have a 20-year retirement system and the rest of us have a 25 to 30-year retirement system. So
All right, any other comments, questions on this one? If not, I'll close this public hearing. And we'll open the big one, public hearing for preliminary budget. We'll open this one up and we'll have to stay in continuous session till next week, I guess, till we
correct.
approve that budget. So do we have any kind of comment on this one, Kim, yet, or is the
And it's gonna be a tough year.
gonna be a tough year? Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna have issues with pills. I mean, I've got it up to where to at least the positive side.
Okay.
But it's gonna be, I mean, not by much though, because it's gonna be a tough year.
Are we talking the pill we have on hand right now, or is it also
It's-
including next year's pill?
No, it's just the pill we have on hand,
Okay.
because we can't guarantee pills.
Yeah. Absolutely good.
So we had departments cut 5% of their budgets. It was tough for a lot of departments, most departments, but they all did it. So.
Yep.
And most of those budgets were the same budgets as last year
Yeah.
when they came in, but in order to do a cost of living increase for employees, we had to cut overall county budgets by 5%. Just our insurance went up 18% this year, so we had things built into our budget that were tough to manage and in the end, we had to cut what we had, so.
And we're very fortunate we got onto our own health insurance because before we did that, it was increasing by 10 or 15% every year. Now that we're self-funded, we can kind of control that. We've been doing really good, even with some hard years of claims. We've stayed ahead of it, so no major increase there. Trying to think what else is good to bring forth here.
Well, I don't know what happened to Sarah. So she can tell you where we are with the school.
She disappeared.
And she'll be back. So
Yeah, she left her
I'm
stuff
sure the
here.
phone rang, but she had to get to.
When we sent the email out last week to cut your budgets 5%, many of the departments, I mean, before the end of the day, that was a 1:30 meeting. I think I sent the email probably about 2:30 or so. Before 5 o'clock, many departments called and said, you can
Can't
take
do
this,
it.
you can take this, you can take this. No, they were very,
Oh,
Very gracious, very.
Most of them are
prepared.
good, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
And, the sheriff's was a big one, and the sheriff has been in communication with us every single day, including Friday, when they're not even in the office about what to do, and
well, that's good to hear, Ginger.
yeah.
Good.
They were,
They
Thank
were
you,
still
Barry.
working on
Thank
it.
you all very much.
They were still willing to work this morning, the
Thanks, sir.
sheriff's office, and came over, had some more conversation.
Yeah, we're at a kind of a crossroads for the county right now where all our extraction minerals and logging and all that has disappeared. So it's all shifting to the residential taxpayers. We don't have any extra income coming in. And by law, legislation doesn't allow us to increase our budgets, even to match inflation. So as inflation gets more, we fall farther behind. Every year fall farther behind. So this is probably gonna be a normal thing every year is cutting budgets, so.
I think when looking at it, in some of our discussions, is a lot of departments didn't spend their full budget last year. But this year they might, because it's really tight, but I think the next thing would be a conversation with department heads and elected officials to really be mindful of what's necessary and
Which will really create a problem between July and November next year.
exactly,
Yeah.
that's the big thing is.
And won't have any source to borrow money from because if we
No.
don't get built, we won't have it.
And the ones that could, Hard Rock money is going down really quick too.
About 2 years worth of revenue left there for us.
Yeah.
I think be good. for every
Tough days coming, Paul.
Departments to be more
Tough days
thoughtful
coming.
when they're spending
It's a good time to go.
what they're spending on.
Does the county have any investments that are sitting out there?
that are liquid, that we can,
Lots of liquid investments, but that's not the point.
yeah, we got all of our cash, most of our cash is tied up in investments, but it isn't any extra money that we have.
I have 35 million in investments of various types. And another 8 million somewhere else, but it's earning good interest right now, but the Federal Reserve is talking about cutting some of that interest. So the stuff that's locked in, we are gonna still get some good money off of that. But the stuff that's up at stiff is gonna start to drop. There's about 28-30 there. So it's gonna just start to drop a little bit, so that's gonna change the amount of interest that we're gonna post. So,
It's kind of a guess every year what we budget for interest.
exactly.
And I
And we
think-
got it more yesterday than they estimated, but I don't know this year.
That's gonna
But
lower
We're gonna-
interest rate at their next benefit.
I think most of that cash we have invested is school.
It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
the 8 million that's out there, I have 9.5
80%.
million is probably more general fund, but we still disperse it as a spread for the whole thing, so.
It's not like extra money sitting there. I think the pill money was the
No,
only
there's
extra
no
money we
extra
ever had sitting there. And we've spent all that up already.
But, anyway, we do, but it's not like you can pull it in, so.
No, we're running out of piggy banks.
Absolutely. So hopefully this legislative session, if we could get some of the marijuana tax money or something that we got pulled out from under us last year, anything would help.
And that's the only thing that's going on the ballot in November is that excise tax. I mean, that's not gonna be a huge chunk of money, but
Anything would help.
4-letter word, sales tax.
So when you talk about that marijuana tax, it's small now, but I know that there are places like.
Well, not our local tax.
Oh, but, yeah, our local thing.
They're talking about tapping into the statewide tax.
For that too, but
that's.
Whitehall just opened up a new, storefront.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so when you know that resolution does, it's only a couple thousand now, but that amount's gonna grow, so it's not a lot. It's gonna be less than 10 grand the first couple of years, I would think, but I tell you.
Right around that.
That marijuana sale thing is growing in our county, literally, I don't mean to be,
I think I figured it'd be closer to 20,000.
well, it was when I calculated it without that new storefront, and there's a grow operation that's open down in Whitehall too.
We don't get
The
anything
DOR
from that.
hasn't found that yet, but yeah, but they're gonna start selling that, so it's
Oh,
gonna
if
make
they-
a difference, right?
It's gotta be retail sales. I think.
Right now it's growing, but they are,
You'll get there, like Missoula County.
it's
and-
unfortunate, I'm not saying, I'm not encouraging that, but on the other hand, it's, we need that revenue
It's
stream,
revenue.
so.
Yep.
When Missoula County was considering, I don't know what happened, but their city council was considering putting a moratorium on any new licenses for weed shops in the city because there's too many of them.
You would think the existing shops would love that deal.
Oh, you think? Let's take out the competition.
But Missoula's budget was approved at 17% over their last year's budget. Now, some of them are voted levies, so, but that's a lot of money. That's a huge difference. But I was gonna ask Sarah.
With the marijuana tax you're talking about, we've already got our eyes on that for somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know what you guys are gonna do with it. I wasn't partaking in that conversation. I just.
Local
wanted to-
local mental health.
Well, that
Advisory
too.
Council.
There's that. We want to use it for that too. But I asked Sarah if she'd come and tell us where the school budgets, what they look like. We have 2 schools, as I told you before, that are affected by the Gallatin County issue. And, the Gallatin County Superintendent of Schools has kind of indicated that the treasurers in Madison and Jefferson should be prepared to delay tax bills till November 14th. Because by the time they get OPI to reapprove, tell me if I remember these dates right, Sarah. Because they have to resubmit to Mayfair's once DOR sends them a new tax valuable levies. That has to be resubmitted to Mayfair's, and then Mayfair has to do their thing, and then it gets sent back with the approval to Sarah and to the Madison County one, who then has to present it to you guys to reapprove those 2 schools levies.
Thank you.
So by the time all that's done, they're expecting the timeline of the end of October. So that means by the time we, the treasurers of these counties, turn those bills around, even with a 10-day window, it's gonna be November 14th, which makes me crazy in a way, because we gotta tell the public that, once we know exactly if this timeline is accurate. And then the tax bills will be due like the mid-December, which pushes into people's Christmas money. Not that a lot of those escrows, right? We have like 60% being paid by escrows, so that's 63%. So it's gonna create a little dilemma in our collection, and which will affect Kim and Ginger's finance plans. Our collections are gonna be a little bit behind, but we'll let Sarah tell you where the school's budgets are.
Well, that's essentially, it's outlined in this email that I gave you of what Gallatin County is proposing for their county to do. But as you can see, we are dependent on the taxable valuation for Willow Creek and Three Forks because we're interlocated. We're also with Silverbow and Broadwater. But that doesn't affect it in this situation. So this is their proposed remedy. And then I also have a follow-up email from Office of Public Instruction News Office this morning, and you have a call into this guy, Paul?
So I called Paul Taylor, because what I'd like to do is see if OPI will open Mayfairs for Sarah to approve all the rest of our schools, so that those levies could be set up for us, so that we're ahead of the game, and then just amend your resolution down the road for the 2 schools that need to be brought back in. Otherwise, the tax bills may be even later than what his proposal is, so I just wanna get ahead of
And
the
his
game.
proposal goes, the nielsen email I gave you is from John Nielsen, the county soup in Gallatin County, who's pretty funny. And he said the thing that John from OPI sent requires a secret decoder ring to understand what he's saying. But it's a process we have that, and we've already done it 3 or 4 times in the budget process. They screw up their budget, then somebody calls me or emails me, I have to go, oh yeah, go ahead. Then they unsubmit it, takes my permission is what he's saying, and we would go through that process. They would unsubmit their budgets and put it in.
Yeah.
I can't envision how Terry's plan works because I just think it's so enmeshed. And I also know that we could accept this and set a mill levy with the cushion because the amounts are gonna be negligible. I just don't know if they'll let me. They're just not gonna approve these forms. And so with that, I have in front of me my proposed FP 10A, which is the form where we set the mill levies. And this is the 25 draft, it says in the corner. And then for your information, last year's mills, how we did this. And just some quirks on this that I just found out. Whitehall screwed up so bad last year or something, she wouldn't really say, haha, was the Whitehall Commission? Just kidding. But she said they made a mistake, and so that it is accurate that they are requesting 0 funds for transportation this year because I don't know how you get to that, but that is accurate. So I have all the numbers. The budgets have been set by all our schools in our districts, and I have them there for Corey's signature on them. And then these numbers self-populate in this thing with what the counties, when each individual school district submits their budget and trustee financial summary, it self-populates. So these are all their numbers. Then I add Prickly Pear Co-op, the special ed co-op, and then I throw in a cushion in case we don't generate the revenue or something goes south. So you can see the mills are similar, the amounts are similar. I think the mills actually went down. No other surprises.
Where are the mills?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are they on the second sheet?
I have it on, yeah, should be on the yellow. On the 20, yeah, on the yellow.
On the yellow.
Look at me
Okay.
helping you guys out.
So do you think the
Yeah,
school
yellow.
budget,
Yep.
On 20, yeah.
do you think the school budgets have gone up this year? I mean, are they spending more money?
It really, I only deal with, it's 24 and 25, don't get mixed up, if I will. I only deal with the transportation and retirement portions is what we're essentially looking at is our responsibility. And so with that said, actually retirement went down. And of course, that's based on age of your population, what your school people are, where your staff is at. So retirement's the only one that went down. Some went up, some went down, no big surprises.
Both high school and elementary?
Mhm.
They did,
Whitehall
yeah.
High School went way down in retirement and transportation.
Yeah, they went down
Yeah,
almost half of what they were.
yeah. Well, when you take zero for transportation, and last year they took 25,000.
So I'm hoping that Mayfair's will give me, or OPI will give me an answer about letting us have the FB9, which is the turnaround levies after the budgets are settled for our main schools, so that we can at least establish those. And then she'll have to do the submit, you know, the Dakota ring deal
I don't
to get the other two schools in. But if you note, Willow Creek has done the same levy for, I don't know how many years, 5, 6 years, 35. So I'm thinking, or maybe I'm hoping, that this issue with Gallatin County and their assessments is not gonna affect that to any great deal. So we may be able to just get away with plugging that in. Three Forks though does change there, so I guess we'll go ahead.
Other option Terry and I commented on, because that draft of 25 I just handed to you. I have that, I can go back to my office right now and hit submit on that. And that will start this process, and if Gallatin County's hocked up, they're not gonna accept it. They're gonna say, nope, you got it. I think it will lead us to our answers. If I just go ahead and say, I'm submitting this, I mean, and there's no harm in that. And when I submit that, it generates an FP9 that then Terry has to work with to make sure everything's correct. And I don't think they'll generate an FP9 if they're hocked up in Gallatin County and don't like my taxable values for Willow Creek and Three Forks. So there's a couple ways we can keep moving forward with this, and OPI is so in disarray that who knows what Paul says and if it will even come to fruition. So I think unless somebody has a better idea, I can't see where that would hurt anything if I submit this FP10A and then we'll get a hard response.
That's what I'm thinking she should do too. I mean, because we'll know whether or not they say, hey, no, Jefferson, you just have to wait, and then we'll know our timeline better.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, I don't think it's gonna affect our two schools that are joint a great deal. I really don't. You know, Belgrade's short 135,000.
Even if it affects them a little bit, the trickle down to us is even less.
Yeah.
Because they're such a small portion of what we're figuring out, but it is what it is.
But still, in the long run, it could delay tax bills going up, so.
We're used to that.
It's
kind of in the
I've
norm.
been better the last couple of years to get them out here before, like October 25th or 6th. This disturbs me a little bit because now it's like November 14th, that's a long window, 2 weeks. And then people having to pay taxes like December 15th, I don't know about you, but I like my money. I want extra money at Christmas, not less, but, I mean, but I save it every month too, but a lot of people don't do that. So it doesn't matter, whatever happens, we'll tell the public, we'll go forward, we'll do what I have to do. I just wondering if Sarah can have your permission to press the button and see what they say, then we'll know where we're at, as far as timelines, and, we're still gonna have to amend whatever you do on your budget, no matter what. So might as well go through those steps anyway, but
You know, I don't see a problem with it, Sarah. It's all in state control, right?
I don't understand though, and this is a really ignorant question, but it rattles around in my brain. If we set our mill levies and we're happy with, we're gonna generate enough money to run this county, they change their taxable values, and we've stuck to a mill levy that I don't think we're gonna come up short, we're confident. Why can't we just set our mills and stick with it and let those people pound sand? I don't understand.
well, I'm with you.
Can they stop us?
No, I think they like the real numbers, because if we start out with these numbers and they come back with these numbers, then we have the wrong calculations.
Yeah, and
for
I'm
Terry to
sure they
fill
like
tax
the
bills
real
out.
numbers. Thank you for putting it in
Yeah.
my language.
Real numbers.
But
yeah.
knowing that we've set a mill levy we're comfortable with a cushion, that we can mess with the cushion and leave the mills alone, that's my
Yeah.
dream. But I
Yeah,
don't think it works
evaluations
that
might
way. I
differ a
don't think
little bit,
it's
but-
that simple, so. Well, I'll go back to my office and submit this and then just keep in close touch with all of you as we move through. If I hear anything from Gallatin County or OPM.
Submit it and done.
Change the county budget.
it doesn't affect our school's budget at all, it's the mill levy. So we
What's that?
Jeff County. in terms of the rest of
Right, at the right amount.
Instead of having to worry about it.
Oh,
We'll change the budgets.
so well, the tax rate at the same time, so it doesn't really matter. I just let Terry get farther with her process. Just have to change a couple of them instead of.
Right, exactly. Yeah, instead of waiting at the end.
It's just gonna
Okay.
change the mill.
What else do we have?
So
That it
with that
today?
said,
That's it?
Ginger, what, no, it's not it.
Oh, you got more.
To charge you. Oh. With that said, Ginger made a good point. It doesn't change our Jefferson, these school budgets I have in my hand, because I'm
Right.
not giving you Willow Creek and Three Forks.
Okay.
So our counties have set their budgets.
Oh,
And,
Corey has to sign those.
and Corey needs to sign off on their budgets, not their trustee financial summaries, which are in here. And once more,
Does he sign any of those in blood?
all of them. I don't even know what to do with Jefferson High School. They don't even have a submit ID. So you can sign this or not. I'll probably have to get you to sign JHS again, but all the
Okay.
others are good. They've got their
Okay.
submit ID. And once more for your viewing pleasure. Yellow.
Okay.
And you don't have to sign the TFS. You should be signing 9 of these as you go through. I think I've got them kind of squared away for you to sign them all on the yellow, and we'll deal with JHS when they.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah's doing a great job trying to manipulate this whole situation, so. I do
And so is that
appreciate
county soup in Gallup County, he's really stepped up to say, if you'll read his email, he's like, you guys have to cooperate here, because if you don't, we're all going down, so let's get it together. He's begging the clerks and the school people, and read this email, and if you're not the one, get it to that person, because we need to pay attention and get this done, because it's hard enough just to get the budgets and TFSs in on time. And now they gotta redo them. Wow.
I agree.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, we will not be adjourned. We will be in continuous session until.
Good job on the budget,
Yeah,
Ginger,
good
Kim,
job.
very, very, very good
Yeah,
job.
thank you. It was a tough one. Tough one. We appreciate your extra help getting that.
Each year is gonna get tougher, it looks like, for a while, so.
And we'll reconvene in about a week, huh? And we'll have a finalized budget, hopefully. All right, thank you. I'm gonna shut this off now and. Be done.
And we can really talk about it.